All right. I am live. And before I start doing anything, I've been complaining about this glitch. I want to actually show it. It's off. See it working really hard. And I have no oxygen. Even though it's off. Don't know why it does that, but it does that. So, anyways. Hello. I need to grab some steel plates. I'm gonna need more than 24. That ought to do it. Alright, let's grab some connectors, some batteries, cockpit, O2 generator, because I will be taking... I don't need an O2 generator. Vent. Landing gear. Gyros and thrusters. Most of the stuff I need. Okay. So, typical start. I think I'm going to add a medium cargo container to it, though. I want to. I really want a medium cargo container. No, I don't think I do, actually. All I really need is batteries. And I need quite a bit of batteries. Because lifting stuff is hard for power. Trying to build up the batteries so I can set them to recharge and hopefully have them fully charged by the time it's time for me to use them. Those should recharge rather quickly. Probably should have actually left that centered. Yeah, I'll just add a couple more batteries. Won't hurt to have a couple extra batteries. All right. And 8. Recharge. All right, that'll work well, I think. Okay. Just need some thrusters fairly well spaced out. And not on that connector. I'm hoping 4 is enough. But I haven't done the math or anything. Where did I put that one? Yeah, one back. There. Right there. Okay. That should give me enough lift. I've made these cargo containers, and I thought that I would be able to lift them up with the welding ship. And it's not enough thrust. I need more thrust. So 2 downward facing thrusters should be enough. Sorry, 4 downward facing thrusters should be enough, but that just means we need a lot of battery power. It's a lot of weight to move, so I'm adding extra thrust front and back. And thinking that the forward-facing thrusters are going to go... I could probably get away with putting them right there. The thrust cone only goes out 2 blocks. But I do need space for side thrust. That'll work. Okay. Side thrust. And forward-facing thrusters, we will put those either on the top or the bottom. I don't know. I think we'll put them right there. That seems to be a good spot. Although it's probably not enough. Probably put them like right there. I mean, I do want it to be overly good at stopping, but I don't know how much is going to be enough. Add some more like that. We'll add the gyros in. 3 should be enough. Alright, so we got gyros, battery, thrusters. Let's throw on some landing gear. Very basic. Do I want to do something with this? Not sure what I could do with it, to be honest. Alright. I am going to want some lights on it, but I'm too worried about that, really. At least not for now. Kind of thinking that, yeah, I do want to do a little something with this. Not sure what I can do. Kind of painted myself into a corner here. Let's see. I want that to stay open. Alright, let's see what I can get away with over here. Don't really have much space for any grief. Guess I could move those 3 back. I don't know. Yeah, there's not really much I can do for greebling on here. I didn't really plan for greebling. So, we'll skip the greebling for now. And we'll just go with functional. Pure functional. Landing gear in place here. And, yeah, that's right. work good. Move those two thrusters up over here. That'll have the added bonus of maybe allowing some greebling to come through. Oh, can't because it runs into thruster. That's a bummer. Let's see. Yeah, that runs it into the thrusters, so that won't be good. All right, put those back. Put solid blocks there for now, because it won't hurt. And we'll throw some landing gear in. All right, now I guess we start welding. Starting with the bits that I can actually finish. Now we'll start throwing plates into things. Yes, I need to turn on my jetpack. Start with the gyros because they're kind of a nightmare. All right. Well, that's good. Alright, well, let's see if we can get all the parts we need. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. There we go. I'm gonna put a vent on there. Add a simple vent. What? Alright, now we've got a cockpit that we can actually use to set things up. See, we want vent, depressurize, thrusters. None of them are finished. All of those off. Worry about grouping and naming things after everything's built. Why am I stuck? Stuck. That's really annoying. Okay. Well then, this. Oh, wrong one. There, won't get stuck under there now. Alright, those are all built up. So, yeah, we're just building up this thing so I can lift those containers over to the ice lake. And it's a rather simple build, but but it's required. Need it. Enough space? I thought I did. I wanted to leave enough space. My hope that I left enough space to potentially add more thrusters if needed. And I did. So we're good. I don't want to use that area there for thrusters, but if we need it, we need it. And hopefully we don't need it. We'll see though, because sometimes when you're YOLOing it, your math is not right. I may wind up seeing that I actually need to add more gyros than what I have. Production's taking a minute. All right. We'll wind up taking it for a test flight before we add the lighting to it, because it will have some lighting. Hello, hello. Just building a simple lift ship. Probably going to transport the containers behind me over to the ice lake too. Well, that was kind of the plan. See, I built these containers here, and there's actually one of these over at the ice lake right now. Because the other ice lake, obviously. Because I needed to transport materials over there for the next video project, which was building a drill rig, an automatic miner. Problem is, I thought this would be able to lift them. It cannot. So I needed something stronger. Hence, 4 thrusters, space for a third, space for 2 more in case I find I need more thrusters, and a battery bank because, yeah, thrusters use a lot of battery. And I want to be able to make at least 4 more trips without having to worry about them charging. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It's not a pretty ship, but it should get the job done. Now I just need to add some lighting to it. And I was planning on doing that in the form of spotlights. I'm not sure how to refer to you. I'm not sure either of those would work for shorthand. uh yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't think they have fireworks, and so we'd have to put up with just Gatling guns and rocket launchers. But I'd have to shoot them into something for them to blow up. Warheads, I could probably launch those and put them on timers and watch them explode in the sky. That could be entertaining, but probably not on this world. There they are. Need some downward facing lighting so I can see the situation around me. Some forward facing lights. Howdy, Pot. You know what? I'm just going to refer to you as FE. So, I've been trying to figure out how to refer to Mr. FE there, who said, "Hey, Mr. Yago." Because I don't think either obvious shorthands for his name would be a good one. Probably get myself canceled for using too much of either of those. And I might just be being overly cautious with that. But you never know, because sometimes these platforms are silly. Jimbo or Billy? I've known a few Billies. I'm not sure I'd want to call somebody that. Glad you understand, Faye. Yeah, Fate. Fate is a good name. We'll just call you Fate. Fate seems to be a good name.
Energy low.
No, if I was gonna get in trouble for saying pot, then I would have been canceled a long time ago. Um, Especially after making jokes about my son yesterday. I don't think he was here to hear me say it though. There's a guy in my stream named Pothead FPV Racing. Yeah, so you can imagine the jokes I made. Yeah, none of them offend you, do they? No. All right, I need to get some power. And got lighting, we've got power. Good. How did I get injured? Huh. Oh, that's right. Yeah, back at the beginning of the stream, I pointed out that this vent was doing that thing with the vent screwing up. And that required me standing in that airlock with the door shut to show that it sucked all of the air out immediately. Not screwing up anymore, though. I need more coffee. And the only way to get more coffee, go get more coffee. So, more coffee time. And my dog's on crack. I hope I inspired you at least mildly. You know, that's what projectors and blueprints are for, Fate. If you're too lazy to build, find a blueprint you think looks like it'll be fun to fly or drive, and just print it. Project it out in your world and build it up. I don't generally endorse using blueprints over building your own, but sometimes building those blueprints is really the best way to go. It gets you over a creative block and gets the job done. I mean, that's great and all. I've built plenty of ships to do plenty of different things. And I try to stick to using that kind of a rule, but sometimes you just get a creative block. You sit there with your inventory full of steel plates, you stare at a landing gear sitting on the ground, and you're like, I don't even know where I want to start with this one. And so you decide to just start throwing things together, and everything seems to be going fine. And then you take a step back and you look at it and you go, that is utter garbage. And you tear it all down. And you start over by standing there, staring at a landing gear on the ground, going, what do I want to build? And blueprints can help you get past that. Fate, That sounds great, Fate. Uh, the problem is you're going to run into that not being able to fly well on the server because it takes a lot to allow for a ship like that to move in space. It will put a lot of drain on the server. It's gotten a lot better than it used to be, but it does still happen. Thank you for my lighter back. And yeah, I wish you luck. I hope it flies, but yeah, you'll find that's going to be a bit difficult. Expect it to be buggy and laggy. Also, whenever you park it, wherever you're going to park it at, turn it into go into the control panel and hit convert to station whenever you stop, because that thing will give you issues. Oh, I think it's a great idea. I wouldn't do 20 refineries though. I would do at most 10. Because unless you're playing heavily modded, you've only really got a need for. You really only need like at most 5 refineries to be able to process all your ores, and in a manageable manner. You take your 5 refineries and you put your quick refining materials, split those up between the 5 refineries, and you take your slow refining materials and split those between the 5 refineries. Then each refinery is responsible for 1 fast processing ore and 1 slow processing ore. And you should never get too much of a bottleneck with that. I think there's only 10 ores. Yeah, yeah, there's only 10 ores. I mean, you've got iron, nickel, silicon, iron, nickel, silicon, silver, gold. No, there's less than magnesium, uranium, and platinum. So, yeah, if you go 5, you can split that up real well. And that's only 8 ores, so should be rather easy. Yeah, but I'm not looking at the screen because I stepped into the garage. Yeah. So yeah, you split it up into 5 refineries. You shouldn't have any issue with it whatsoever. And then I would say downsize everything as much as you can. For assemblers, I would not skimp on assemblers though. I would go with 4 assemblers with let's say nothing but speed modules. Unless you're running on battery power, you might want to swap out all the modules for power modules just to manage the power better. Because you're on a ship, not a station. A station can have passive power generation built on it. A ship, it's much harder to have passive power generation in. But if you can have passive power generation, you can have all the upgrades you want and not have to worry about power. The thing that I've found, and I've got people who disagree with me with this one vehemently, honestly, your landing bay can never be too small, or can never be too big, I mean.
if you're going to make this into a station ship, then you need to be able to be mobile and also have builds you're working on in the ship. So you need a large enough docking area to be able to have some building space and some parking space for everybody involved. I wouldn't skimp on that too much. What I would skimp on is the RP areas, like you're not going to need a dining area. You don't need bedrooms. You can just line up however many cryopods you need and call it a day. And yes, you can still make a cool looking ship like that. Anyways, I'd be interested in seeing what your team comes up with because I like big builds. And if you do go the route of 10 refineries and all that, yeah, if you do wind up going with the 10 if you do wind up going with the 10 refineries, I would love to see that. That sounds like a massive ship. Don't skip on jump drives either, because you're going to want to be able to fly to um, Mars from the Earth, and you're going to want to be able to do it in one jump. And your ship's going to be extremely heavy. So batteries and jump drives will be your friend. Well, you need. I use a similar method.
Yeah, let's see. We've got, yeah, 10. Well, 9 if you count stone. 9 if you count stone, 8 if you don't count stone. Wait, is it 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, you've got 9 of them. Because you got those 7, and then you've got uranium and platinum. So you've got 9 of them. And 10 if you count stone. So I wasn't wrong. It is 10. Yeah. Yeah, just took me a minute. I figured it out. Alright, everything is charged up. Now it's time to set up the bars, or set up the chip. Let's see. Um, what do I want to name it? Has to have a name. And let's just go completely asinine. I think that's being generous, but yeah. Let's see. Cricket. Uh, Cricket Bear. Okay. A water bear is a... Oh, what's it called? Trilla... the name just slipped my mind now. It's a microscopic water animal. Basically. Let's see. Water bear. Ah. Tardigrade. That's it. Tardigrade. Okay, we're going to go with Cricket Bear, though, because why not? So everything gets the appendage of CB. Water bears are kind of cool, actually. I do believe the tardigrades actually thrived on the moon. Just gotta rename everything. Also had to mute myself in Discord because hitting control a lot. And sure that that's coming through Discord. Which is also... There we go. You know, they can get mad all they like. But this is kind of required. If you're going to actually set up the bars. For a test flight, it's fine. You don't really need to do this for a test flight. But, before you connect it to another grid, though, you really want to do this because the other grid may wind up grabbing one of your named components and doing something with it. And you don't want that. Rid of the large there because what What I care about is that they're the up thrust, not that they're large. All right. Thrusters, all of them are going to be grouped together. Atmospheric thrusters. Don't need those on the toolbar config or in the play there. Yeah, I want that one in the terminal. I don't want it in toolbar config. Oh, it makes a huge difference once it's connected to a grid. But if you're not doing the setup and you're not in charge of setting up all the stuff, then it makes no difference to you. I know a lot of people who don't do this, and they never have any real issue, except every now and then something will get triggered that they wish didn't get triggered. And I need to change those maximum radius. Offset can be offset 2 meters. Should be good and should give me a good amount of vision around the ship. Probably go more than that, but I don't think there's a need for that. Huh. Load shedding. What's that? Okay, that looks good. All right. Everything is named. That's a much more manageable list. That is why I like to do it. Did it actually connect up? It did. Good. All right. That sucks. Okay, so, I need, I should be fine without an antenna. Let's see, we need landing gear. And recharge on off. Thrusters on off. Gyros on off just for good measure. 10 p.m. till midnight. Jeez. That's annoying. All right, everything is charged up. All right, now these things are pretty heavy. See how it does. Should add a camera to it. Oh, no problem. Scarier thought. No space engineers at night. Can I ask what country you're from, Fate? Ah. I thought some of the South African countries were extremely developed, so that surprises me. Should put a landing gear right next to the connector. This is a bit unruly. I'm not touching the mouse and it's drifting. Which happens, yeah, see, no, I didn't do that. That's annoying. So I'll put a landing gear there to help with some of the phantom forces, because that's just weird. No, you're not drifting up again. Almost there. Stop it. No, I said stop. Pulling my mouse down. Of course, I am hitting 104 meters per second. That is pretty fast. That might be the issue. Not really. Weight distribution of the subgrids can make a difference. But for the most part, the answer is no. About that. Yeah, it's once I get past 100 meters per second. Okay, it is slow to stop. Aim up and let the down thrust. Coal power is fine as far as power production goes. The problem is that they would need another coal power plant. There are still large portions of the US grid that are coal powered. And we don't have brownouts and blackouts due to grid. Unless you're in California, where they routinely have brownouts and they're trying to eliminate all their coal-fired plants, which is weird. Alright, so the lift truck does well. Sorry, the Cricket Bear does well. Probably do with a bit more gyro, but for the most part it's fine. Now let's land and make sure that we didn't burn up the cargo containers, because that is a possibility. Nope, no damage. We're good. Sweet. I built this one wrong. What the heck? That's exactly what it's there for. Yeah. Yeah, it is. So, I'm assuming that means that, Fate, I assume that means you have a battery bank at your house. I haven't had to deal with a battery bank in a long time. My mother and father used to run on solar, and they had a rather large battery bank of marine batteries on the side of their house. It worked well. I mean, for most of the year, they had no issue. Every once in a while, when the weather was particularly bad for several days in a row, they would need to modify their power usage. But I think the only time I ever really saw him rely on his generator was, I think it was February timeframe would be the most common time when it would happen because there was more snow. Yeah, yeah. My father's battery bank allowed him to sit up all night watching television, running off of solar panels. Uh, and his refrigerator stayed cold. His refrigerator was a trip. Uh, he had a I don't remember what the brand of the refrigerator was, but he had the entire outside of it lined with insulation so that it didn't have to work as hard. And my mother did her best to try and make the insulation look pretty. She didn't do bad, but you could tell that there was a layer of insulation strapped to the outside of the refrigerator. But, you know, that's what you got to do. You got to do everything you can to limit the amount of power you're using when you want to run on solar. So yeah, the water bear, sorry, the cricket bear, it's a weird name, was created just for the purpose of lifting crates to a new area. The next episode that I'm putting out is going to be building an auto miner. Yeah. That does not surprise me. My father went and bought solar panels that were gently used to get his whole system up and running, which means the efficiency was crap. But he went and looked for the cheapest way to get solar panels. That was his goal. Yeah, the entire reason for this build is the 5 cargo containers. And it was a waste of resources. I should have just taken 5 trips with the other ships. Oh, geez. No, not that bad. Yeah, the problem with solar panels is really the price. I know there's a couple of companies now that are making glass solar panels rather than polymer based. They're just glass, and they're much cheaper. They're much cheaper, but they break too easy is the problem. I can't imagine spending a whole bunch of money on getting a solar system set up, and then a bird flies into your solar array and you got to replace 2 of them. That would be painful. But yeah, I would suggest if you can find a way to swing it, solar is the way to go. Glass solar panels. So there are some glass solar panels that are being produced now, and they're cheaper. They're much cheaper, but they're really hard to transport and maintain because they're glass. They're fragile. At least I know they're available in the U.S. I think they're manufactured in the U.S. I think there might be some places in China manufacturing them as well. But and this may be old information because it's been a while since I looked into solar. But yeah, there was, I think it was in Texas they were manufacturing them. They were slightly less efficient, but they were so much more cost effective. It was worth it. And the problem is they're fragile. And I just can't imagine walking out one day, finding out a bird flew into your solar panel and broke it. Always coffee and smoke time. Well, it's always coffee time. It's not always smoke time. Trying to keep it under 100 meters per second because I don't want to have to deal with the ship wandering. Yeah. Well, I imagine the durability will be the issue with that for a long time. Only thing that I think you're going to be able to do to help with that is going to be on the installation side. You're going to have to find a way to protect them, which is probably just going to be some standoffs and a sheet of plexiglass, which will make maintenance harder because you'll need to paint you'll have to clean them substantially more often. And you've got that gap between the plexiglass and panels. He's more than welcome to join, and I will answer any questions that he might have. Well, to the best of my abilities. Much better without a load on it. Imagine that. Not carrying around several tons of material makes it handle better. I was considering building a trailer to transport all the stuff and making a marked trail to the lake and just using a rover to get there. But that just seemed silly when I got the ability to fly and easily transport it. I appreciate that, Black Star. Ah, man. My chat's gonna get me in trouble. Yeah, I've already loaded up those cargo containers with all the components I need to be able to build a nice ice mine out there. And I'm probably going to tear them down to bring them back because I see no reason to not tear them down. Uh, well, YouTube is sadly censorious when it comes to off-color jokes. I think that one would probably have been safe. But there was quite a few jokes that could have been said to that. But I think all of those would have been safe. Well, not safe for work, but safe enough for YouTube to not get mad at me. Um, yeah, and I don't want to have to kick somebody out of chat because I can't risk YouTube. So I appreciate it. I don't want to be a dick. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I don't mind being a dick, but that's a story for another time. I No, I'm not even close. There we go. I can't believe I built a ship just to move crates. Well, my girlfriend likes to remind me that I don't have enough of a filter. She's not wrong. Which is part of the problem, is she's not wrong. I still want to make that road because I think it would be fun, if it's possible, to map out a path that was drivable. You know, if it was just that she thought she wasn't wrong, it'd be one thing. But when she's really not wrong, that means you done screwed up. Am I going the wrong way? I think so. Yeah, exactly. Hard to fight facts. Look at that, it's daylight. Yeah, you should show your buddy this stream and tell him that he shouldn't be afraid to build purpose-built machines. Because that's part of the fun of the game. I'll be honest, after we're done with this, I could probably tear down all these containers and this ship and never use them again. Won't. They'll stay sitting to the side somewhere, but probably could. I don't like where that's positioned at. What did that guy just run over in my backyard? I'll be right back. The lawnmower guy going through my backyard ran into something. And I had to figure out what it was he actually ran into. Because, you know, sometimes those things can do damage. I know it's a stupid thing to worry about, but I want them all lined up. So, they're all lined up. One more. I think it was one more. Or was it two more? Really, I just wanted to make sure that he didn't, like, chip off a piece of his blade or throw something against my house, because I know what he hit. It was the old stake for the dog lead, which is just a big metal spike in the ground. The first time they've hit it, though. They must be just cutting a bit lower today. Lots of flight time. And I should have set the forward... Yeah, I should have set the forward facing thrusters to separate groups so I could turn them off and coast. But here, this is just a workhorse. If I ever have to fly truly long distances, then I'll worry about it. I might have to make a nicer looking battery bank with thrusters just for lifting. As you can see, I've used up more than half the battery already. Well, not quite. I've used up almost half the battery. So it needs to be a battery bank. It's nothing but eight batteries and some thrusters. Oh, man. All right, last one. Anyone can, yes. You can run it on your personal computer. The server itself is available on Steam. And it works fairly well. let me get this back to the lake, and I will pull up the server. Are you playing PC or console? I can't remember. Alright, do you have a PC to run the server on? What happens if I just go full bore? How bad does it get? Let's see how bad this tilts. Worst case scenario, it completely throws me off. Oh, it starts to slow down once I get north of the horizon, so... Let's see. I mean, it's not too bad, it's just... a bit of drift. Yeah, I probably should have put a landing gear on there. Yeah, as soon as I get over 100 meters per second, it starts to drift. Okay. All right. All right. 11 days. Let's see. Can I... There we go. That'll work. And... should be able to see... Okay. Okay, so this is the dedicated server. Let's make sure I'm actually, yeah, I'm coming through. And the dedicated server is available on Steam. Let's see if I can find the... dedicated servers on here somewhere. I want to see the store page. Space Engineers dedicated server. Oh, it just didn't open the store page. It brought me back to the Steam homepage. Alright, well, it is in the tools, so you should be able to add it by going into the tools section. It is available, and this is what you'll be running. Space Engineers dedicated server. And I have these, this is the default one. Local console. This was me making a mod.io test world. And we'll come into this one after I hit run as administrator. So now that it's running as administrator, or not, there it goes. Alright, now that it's running as administrator, we'll come into the mod.io test. And there's a few things you'll need to look at. First, you'll see the port here. You'll need to come in and change your port to be open here. That's the only way to get it to actually be open, is to go into your router, make sure this port is open and ported to your machine. Aside from that, most of this is pretty straightforward. You can add mods through here, but when you add mods in this list, they're going to default to being Steam mods. You'll have to go into the XML file and actually change that manually. Down through here, these are all your world settings, and you'll see they're exactly the same as when you're creating a single player world. I can't make it much larger, unfortunately, sorry. So, adaptive simulation should always be on. Autosaves if you want them. Drop containers, those are your drop pods, your little special unknown signals. And convert to station. Could probably turn off goodbye hints because nobody needs those. So yeah, it's all the standard settings. And oh yeah, and there's one more setting you'll need to actually click. You need console compatibility turned on, and change this to EOS. So turn on console compatibility under the general tab and change it to EOS network type. That way consoles will be able to see it. Plugins, you can ignore those. Once you've got it all up and running, and that'll be setting up all your game settings. This is one setting I would suggest you actually set is one safe zone per player, per faction. If you don't, then they can have all the safe zones they want, which kind of ruins the gameplay. But the remote client, you can connect, and if I bring up the WW World, I can show you the remote client. The remote client will monitor how the world is affecting your computer. So you can see the simulation speed is hovering around 1, which is where it should be. The main thread, it's using main thread's at 50 most of the time. Well, between 50 and 100 most of the time. Admin tools, they allow you to go through and see the grids. It'll populate a list of all the grids, a list of all the characters, floating objects, planets. Okay, there they go. If I look at floating objects and wait for that to load, you'll be able to see all the floating objects in the world right now. So yeah, this tool actually has quite a bit to it. And then, of course, the standard console. You can see it running. Nobody's online right now. Oh, we look at characters, there's nobody there. So anyways, yeah, that is the dedicated server. It's not hard. And I could probably go through and show a more detailed how to set it up one step at a time. But unless you're interested in seeing it, I just didn't think it was worth the time. It is pretty handy though. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to show you I can float here for 4 hours. So we'll just come back over to here. Alright, so in the folder, see this is mod.io test. That's the save I was just showing. You're going to want to get Notepad++. It just makes things easier. And if I fire this up and show you where you're going to want to change that mods that you add. Because I'm sure you're going to want to add at least a few mods, because mods just make the game a little more fun. I do believe it's in this one, unless I'm wrong. Alright, so yeah, mods. Sandbox.sbc. You can go through the server client and you can add the mods in the server client by typing the number right in here for the mod, and the mod ID number is actually going to be available right on the mod.io website. Just type that mod ID number right here, hit add mod, and when you hit save, it'll get added to this list. Come into this list and just change all of these right here from Steam to mod.io, and that will direct them at mod.io, and it will download all the mods from there. That's going to be the best way to do it. At least I think that's the best way to do it. It seems to work pretty well for me. Now let's head back to the base. One of the things I do need to do is I need to actually make an effort to go over to the trading station and buy things from them. I could have platinum on here right now, which means I'd have the better tools. I don't need the platinum for anything else, but hand tools that use platinum would be very nice. Gonna take the little longer route. Gonna fly over the lake. I will have to look at how to get the Steam dedicated server and actually do a better video on where to get it from, because it's rather annoying that I tried to go to the store page and it wouldn't load. I believe it's in the apps, programs. I can't remember now. It's been so long since I signed up for it that I haven't even thought about it. But it should be in your games under the apps. If you bought it on Steam, it should already be available to you. If it's not, then I believe Keen provides a link to download the server. I do love this valley. Okay. All right, let's land and dock her up. Let it charge again. Oh, turn the thrusters off. All right, it's kind of ugly, but it works. All right. So, yeah. All right, do you have any specific questions for the dedicated server that you would like to ask? Because I think if you ask questions, I can probably give you better direction. Not running low on anything right now, fortunately. Okay. Steam. Not in the... Where are the tools at? The Steam just recently changed. There used to be a spot where you could go and search for tools and software. Let's see. Yeah, there's no... Yeah, there's no dedicated server available searching through it like that. So let's see. When I got the Space Engineers dedicated server, I found it by going through the store page and going to the downloads, going in to download it. But I don't see the options in here anywhere. Oh, game servers. Right there. Oh, nope, that's servers you can join. Nope. Yeah, so I don't know where they moved it to. And so I don't know where to direct you. Unfortunately, that's just Steam. Steam just changed everything, so I don't know. Sorry. Alright, I'm going to change this back to capturing the game rather than... Alright, now it's just capturing the game again. And sadly, I think that's actually where I have to call it. I've got everything moved. All the containers have been transported. Now I've got to actually start filming a video. Oh. If you have any more questions about the dedicated server, or if you'd like me to actually put together a decent tutorial on it, because I mean, on the fly, it's rather simple, and I don't know what to explain. I'd have to look through it and actually figure out the right stuff. Sorry, Pot. But yeah, it's I think I've got to call it so I can start filming a video, and I hope you all have a great day. And I will talk to you later. Thank you for watching. I mean that. I really do appreciate it.